Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. So we are talking about the Ro's latest drop. Once again, the Ro continues to be that brand that delivers consistency, quality, and just beautiful minimalistic design. If you like that style, the Ro has you covered. And I feel with these recent changes with all of these luxury brands, who's going where, some brands don't have any creative directors, it's very hard to fall in love with a brand. But one of the great things about the Ro is we know Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, this is their brand. Of course, they're always going to deliver for their fall winter collections some of the best pieces. In my humble opinion, this is where they shine. I think this is where we see some of the most beautiful coats. Love a good coat. I love cashmere. And I did talk about this collection when it hit the runway, or rather when we saw the images, because this was when the phone ban started. But the images were just stunning, and from what I'm seeing with these promotional images as well as what's on the website, there's a lot to pick from. In my usual style, I thought we'd take a look at the handbags, go through those, because I know a lot of you guys love a good bag just like me. And then at the end, I'll talk about my top 5 favorite investment pieces, looking at the whole collection, as well as my top 5 favorite splurge. If money were no object, these were the pieces that I would buy. So let's start off with the handbag, and you can browse this along with me if you like. Go to the new arrivals section. When we look at the handbags, we are seeing what I have wanted to see from the Ro, and this is the Margaux in the shoulder style. So much like we did see the East-West version, which I think was more equivalent to the dimensions of when we saw the OG shoulder Birkin, if we're gonna use that as a point of reference. Just a little bit wider, a little bit bigger. It's 12 inches, so it's more comparable to a Birkin 30, but East-West. It's already sold out, guys, so I do apologize in advance. A lot of this is already sold out, so if you can get on a waiting list, good luck. But there's something about the dimensions, the proportions, that just feels so chic, and we are still seeing the East-West trend into 2025. If you do like this proportion in handbags, this is something we will still see, and of course beyond, even if it goes out of trend, if it is your style, it is your style. The beauty of the Ro is it's actually not about the trends, it's about personal style, it's about quality, things that are permanent, not just fleeting. I really do think if this is your style, it's your style. The next bag that I want to talk about is the Agnes bag. Oh my gosh, I saw this and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, this is so Lela Sophia. If you haven't checked out her channel, please check out her channel. She is the OG. Her and her mom are like the OG Ro girlies. But if I think of how her mom has the India bag, it's that kind of elegant version. This Agnes version to me feels like the chic daughter of that in that family. I love this style, and I feel like this is okay, I'm using the word trend, but I feel like this is a style that we have been seeing, these kind of like slouchy, sumptuous bags. Again, we've seen Miu Miu and Balenciaga and other brands do this, but there's something about the way the Ro does this, and it feels very OG Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. The way they wear their bags, they're the point of inspiration. I interestingly did a video on Chanel bags that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen wore. And again, it's that sumptuousness, that worn-inness, that usedness of their handbags. And again, this Agnes bag to me really speaks to that style that we all love about Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. So next we have the Canteen bag in leather. To me, this feels just very French, minimal, saddle kind of styles. It reminds me of actually Celine bags, even more so the Phoebe era with the Trotter, but even more minimal. No hardware. Even if I think about a minimalist French brand like APC, you see they do a lot of bags like this, but this is the Ro's more extreme version of that. Next we have the India bag. We are seeing the India bag come in new sizes, new materials like suede or nubuck. But what I wanted to highlight was this 10 size. I think this is so cute, and I really just have to point out how beautiful the colors are this season. These beautiful beige colors, and there's something about the way they are paired with silver hardware. I love a gold hardware. There's something about these neutrals with like a stark, cool silver hardware that I just love. Next, we have, I would say, this whole new line of handbags. So we have the Nuance tote, we have the Nuance hobo, we have this shoulder bag version. The leather on all of these bags looks so soft, so supple, that delicious lambskin that the Ro is known for. But what's very signature about this whole line, those thicker whip stitches. Fendi does a lot of bags with these thicker stitches, which you don't really see on bags from the Rose. To me, it feels very crafty, almost like folksy in a way. So if that's something you like, there's a few different choices for those. Next we have, I love this style, the Bourse bags. We have the extra large version, and then we have a smaller sort of clutch version. But what I really appreciate, if you are someone like me who is clutch curious, you like a clutch, but you're still someone that loves a strap. I'm someone that still loves a strap more often than not in situations where I need to be hands-free. I really love that chic clutch look. You have a clutch just in case. It's good to have like a little strap, something that you can hold on to just in case. That's what I love about these bags. How beautiful is this French beige? It has gotta be the prettiest beige. It reminds me of the color palette. A lot of the colors from the season really remind me of their color palette of their recent store. A lot of those really beautiful neutrals, muted, soft, mushroomy, champagne-y, soft, delicate beiges. A lot of the colors we saw with this collection felt inspired, or vice versa. The interiors of the store were inspired by their latest store launch, and I did a whole video on that. So anyways, absolutely beautiful. And I just think in these beiges, you really see the sumptuousness of the leather. I also love this barn red color. Again, the Rose, always gonna have just red somewhere. We also have this flat clutch. So if you are someone that loves the clutch and you are committed to that clutch life and you want something more minimal, this flat clutch is for you. I also love these Astra bowling bags. There's something about this silhouette that feels actually very now, but of course it's very timeless. Next, we have this Ingrid bag. How cute and adorable is it? If you want that little top handle kind of dome bag. Next we have this Regent crossbody bag. Again, a pretty reasonable price bag. And then we have this medicine pouch, more of like kind of a flat sort of crossbody bag. It would be a little awkward, I think, on me, but if you're taller or like a guy, I think it could work. And then we have this new bindle bag. So again, the bindle has had different iterations. We saw smaller bindles last collection. So this is more of the newer bindle in that hobo, sort of classic hobo style, that delicious soft leather. Now, when it comes to those investment picks, so these are my 5 investment picks and then my 5 splurges if money were no object picks. So the first item that I want to talk about, and I was just having a moment of weakness the other day. I really was having a moment of weakness. I was just feeling really sad. I saw this coat and I was like so close to pre-ordering it because I know I'm not tall enough. I am not tall enough for this, the Aurelia coat. Even if I tried to wear heels, you see the model, she's wearing heels, it will just not work for me. And I'm sure I could get it taken in, but I feel like I lose the integrity of the cut. And oddly enough, I'm like the size of Ashley Olsen, but I just know that it just wouldn't fit me. So maybe it's a good thing. Super expensive. But again, when I say like wardrobe investment, this is something you will have in your closet for a very long time. I love this silhouette because it's very generous. As you get older, your body is going to change, your lifestyle is going to change. You can never really predict what's going to happen, but the beauty about something like this is even if you change the volume of this coat allows for that. If you're tall and you're looking for that beautiful voluminous coat, a unique take on that trunch style, look no further. This is the one to go for. So for my next investment pick, and again, a lot of these things are expensive, it's the Row. If you were looking to invest in something from the Row, I love this Indira skirt in silk. It's quite pricey, it's $15.90, but I'm someone that loves to wear slip skirts quite frequently. I have a black one and I have this Max Mara champagne one. I have been looking to upgrade and I feel like this would be a potential option. And I love the little French lace trim. I just think it looks so pretty. It's something you can wear spring, summer, but then you can also wear it fall, winter with tights and a really nice knit. I love the black, and while I think the black is very nice, I would actually opt for the dark oak. There's something about that, or even the champagne I think is really pretty. But equally, if you're looking just for inspiration, if you're just watching this video just for like stylistic inspiration, you could probably find something pre-loved, very similar to this. Of course, there's gonna be dupes everywhere, but if you're just looking for inspiration, maybe you see one thing that you really like a bag, you could probably find something secondhand, which would probably do the trick. And another thing that we've also been seeing with the Row are these kind of layering, and I've been seeing this a few seasons with Phoebe Philo, and it kind of reminds me of like even like Old Celine, and I know the Row have done this as well. These skirts over pants, this is also a trend. I know that sounds weird to say, but I am seeing this happen in fashion. Next we have this I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm just gonna call this beautiful green color. It kind of reminds me of moss or something, guacamole, but this like moss green sweater and cashmere. The row is always gonna have a beautiful line of cashmeres, and if you prefer the neutral colors, they will have you covered, but there's something about this moss and cashmere, that color with this material, that I think just works so well here. It will look really beautiful with your neutrals, but I think also add a little bit of a touch to an outfit. My next investment pick, I'm kind of torn as to whether or not I should actually get these, but I know there's a boot from the row that I want to get. I think it's coming next season, but I also just love these for now. These Lisa kitten boots in this beautiful suede. I'm not like totally offended by this price point. It's $13.50. It's still expensive. It's your typical luxury price point. There's something about this with your fall winter outfits. I love that the kitten heel is just so like ever so slightly there. And then my final investment pick, if I were to buy a bag, I would say the Bourse bags. I'm not that offended in terms of price point. Again, this is the row. You're gonna expect things to be a little bit more expensive. I really do love this barn red. If you want it to be a little bit more adventurous, again, they have other neutrals, but I just love how sumptuous it looks. I love that it can be worn as a daily crossbody, but if you wanted to wear this as more of a night clutch, I love that too. There's something about that transformational quality that I think is so appealing. One thing I will also say, for only $40 more, you can get the extra large version, which is actually quite a small price jump, but the size is quite substantial. Based on 2024 handbag standards, that's actually not that bad of a price. The next category are my 5 splurge picks if money were no object. So when I saw this on the runway, I was absolutely in awe. I was like, how is this even done? So this is the crystal dress in cotton and tulle, and it has this pleated effect, and there were a lot of ready-to-wear pieces that had this pleated effect, but there's a lot in black, but there was something about this in this French beige color, but it also has this corrugated cardboard effect to it from afar, but if you actually look at it, it's way more detailed. But there's something about the pleating on this and like the shape of it. These like pleated moments kind of reminded me of Mary-Kate Olsen wore Izzy Miyake. The next splurge, another showstopper piece from this collection, and this is the Jan coat. And again, we've kind of got that like mossy green again in this beautiful, sumptuous, I know I use that word a lot when describing the row, but that's just what the row is. Just beautiful, luxurious, flowy, drapey, fluid materials. They don't skimp out on the materials. This drapey look that I think is very signature of the row. The row does this just so well. It is definitely a splurge, but again, I would also say for the right woman, this coat is something that she would wear over and over and over again. One thing I have noticed, every year I'm always looking for which brands have cashmere coats, and I have noticed over the years, this pool of brands, even on the luxury side, very few luxury brands continue to offer cashmere, 100% cashmere coats. They're usually more and more brands. They're using a lot of blends and blends of other, even synthetic materials. And there's nothing wrong with using synthetic materials, but if you're gonna price something like it's a cashmere coat, it should be a cashmere coat. It's pieces like this where I'm like, yes, I get why the row does so well. Next splurge, and this is kind of a ridiculous one. Okay, I'm gonna have people tell me this is like kind of absurd, but I actually love it. I just think these hats are really interesting. Again, I'm not in a position in my life where I would ever spend $2,700 on a hat, and I don't think that you should either, but I just think these hats are really interesting. I think when it comes to winter fashion, why aren't brands getting a little bit more creative with funky hats and things like that? I really appreciated that the row did these really ornamental hats, just so unusual and different. I thought it was such a nice touch to the collection. Please don't spend $2,700 unless you're like a bajillionaire. My next pick are these Lisa Dorsey pumps, but these are in python. The thing about python, it's a little bit more of a delicate exotic. This is not for the woman that's like stomping around the city. She's driven around wherever she goes, or at least if she's going to an outing, she's being driven around. I think this is just ultimately just a really classic shoe, but it's in python, and yeah, they look absolutely stunning. And then my fifth and final pick for investment, this was really hard because I was going to pick the shoulder Margaux. I was really close to picking that, and I still think that is also a showstopper, and I get why that bag sold out so quickly. But this is, I'm gonna go with the Agnes bag, and again, it's quite a pricey bag, but there's just something about this that just, if you've got the cash to spend and you want something that I think is very quintessentially the row. Quintessentially, I would say very Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, their style. But I think their style now. This is how they dress now. This is that bag. I think this is a bag that embodies the row in 2024, 2025. I think it's very timeless. It's very elegant. So this is my pick. But this collection had a lot of beautiful bags to pick from. There's so many beautiful ready-to-wear picks. It was really hard to curate this list. And I would have loved to go through the whole list, but this video would be really, really long. And I already did a deep dive on the initial collection, but I would love to know, was there anything that you had your eye on from this collection? Please let me know in the comments down below, and thank you so much for joining me in another one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.